Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We are going to dive straight into a genuinely fascinating source text today, one that reveals a massive psychological block that might literally be killing your sales right now. We're going to explore exactly why your prospects are terrified to buy from you, and more importantly, how understanding this hidden fear can totally transform your approach. So get ready, because the insights we're extracting from this material are an absolute game changer.
To kick things off, let me ask you a quick question. Do you remember that classic comic strip with Charlie Brown and the football? I mean, it's a pop culture staple for a reason, right? Lucy holds the football on the ground. She swears up and down that this time, just this one time, she's actually going to let him kick it. And Charlie Brown, completely ignoring his better judgment, believes her. He runs up, swings his leg with everything he's got, and she yanks it away. Again! He falls flat on his back. Happens every single time.
Okay, let's dive into it. Section 1. The Charlie Brown Effect. Why your prospect is terrified you're Lucy.
So here's the huge secret nobody really tells you about selling. Your prospect is Charlie Brown. By the time they finally get on the phone with you or walk into your store, they've had that metaphorical football pulled away more times than they can even count. As our source text points out so perfectly, you didn't pull it, you're still holding a football, and they've learned exactly what footballs do. Think about how profound that really is. You know you're a good person, you stand behind what you do, and you've never betrayed this specific customer before. But to them, honestly, it doesn't matter. You're just the person currently standing there holding a football. And through a lot of harsh experience, they've learned exactly what happens when they try to kick it.
Moving right along. Section 2. Marketing versus the human. The limit of a clever headline. It is so incredibly common in business to assume that if a sale is moving slowly, it just means you ran a bad ad. People immediately think, well, we need cheaper leads, or actually scratch that. They think they just need a punchier headline. But let's look at where marketing's job actually ends. Marketing successfully walks the prospect right up to the line, gets them ready, gets them excited to kick, and it usually does that job perfectly. But right after marketing ends, a human shows up, and that human is dragging an enormous, heavy suitcase of past baggage right up to the line with them. They show up fully expecting that football to move.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what that baggage looks like. The text gives us these incredibly vivid, relatable examples of past buying betrayals. Think about the late-night infomercial slicer-dicer they bought that just produced a pile of smashed tomatoes. Or that incredibly expensive fitness gizmos that's currently rusting out in their garage, basically mocking them every time they pull the car in. Or the magic golf driver they spent a fortune on, only to still shank the ball straight into the woods while their buddies watch and never let them live it down. They don't just regret spending the cash, they feel totally foolish. They feel duped. So when they look at you, they are not seeing a helpful expert. They see Lucy, grinning, lining up the ball.
Which brings us to Section 3, the negative trust balance, where you actually start.
Listen, I want to validate your feelings for a second here. You didn't cause any of this. You definitely didn't build that rusting fitness gizmo, and you didn't sell them that awful golf club. But their fear, it is definitively your problem now, because their starting trust level is minus 100. Before they even glance at your marketing, before you have uttered a single word to them, they fully 100% expect to get burned.
Let's map this out because it is a massive paradigm shift. You're starting out at that brutal baseline of minus 100. Now let's say you run a completely flawless, incredibly persuasive marketing campaign that moves them up 70 entire points. That is a massive marketing win, right? But look at where they actually end up. They're at minus 30. You haven't even reached a neutral baseline of 0 yet. You're still starting your sales conversation in the negative. They still believe, more than anything else, that they're going to get burned.
Now, what's really interesting about this next part is how we spot this in the wild. Section 4, Diagnostic Checklist. Identifying hidden customer fears.
So how do we actually identify these signs of hidden buyer distrust in real time? Here is a practical diagnostic checklist straight from the source. Step 1. Identify the baggage. You've got to listen really closely to their objections. Are they seemingly randomly bringing up past failed products or burned relationships with other vendors? That is a massive red flag for hidden distrust. Step 2. Measure the balance. Pay attention to their tone. Are they asking hyper-specific, highly skeptical questions? If they are, they're assuming you'll burn them, which proves they're still stuck in that negative trust balance. And step 3. Spot the Lucy complex. Watch their body language. Do they treat you as a helpful collaborator, or are they overly defensive, basically bracing themselves for you to yank the football away? Run through this checklist to figure out exactly what kind of fear is holding back the human standing right in front of you.
This leads us to the trap so many people fall into.
Section 5, the feature dumping trap. Stop popping the hood.
Look at the absolute absurdity of the wrong approach compared to what the real job is. A car salesman thinks his job is, well, selling a car. So what does he do? He pops the hood, he starts rattling off horsepower stats. The source text even jokes that sometimes they start talking about gigabytes. But his real job isn't any of that. His real job is calming a nervous human being. The real job is proving the football isn't going to move. It's about overcoming the fear. When you just resort to dumping features on someone, you are completely ignoring the terrified Charlie Brown standing right there in front of you.
Finally, Section 6, proving you are not Lucy. This is the whole game.
It really doesn't matter if you're pitching a high-powered CEO in a boardroom or a young couple in a trailer park. The fundamental obstacle standing between you and that sale is almost never the price. It's almost never the features. It is fear. But here is the reassuring truth. People want to buy. They absolutely love to buy. They just need to believe that you won't do what everyone before you did. Just let that sink in for a second. The desire is there. They are hungry for a solution. You don't have to force them to want it. You just have to do the hard work of proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are not Lucy.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final incredibly provocative question straight from the source material to really challenge how you approach your next interaction. Look at your own process right now. Where in your sales process are you popping the hood and talking gigabytes when you should be calming a Charlie Brown who has been burned 100 times before you ever even met you? Think about that before your next meeting. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep that diagnostic checklist handy, remember the negative trust balance, and go prove that you are not Lucy. See you next time.